Paper Planes,
Yes.
a wonderful achievement, and I think it kind of kicked off the year in terms of family films. And do you think that this is hopefully something that's going to continue?
It's a renaissance, yes, it would be great. It would be great if it was, actually. I mean, that was kind of the reason why Rob and I wanted to write the film and why Rob wanted to make it. I mean, Rob Connolly was the co-writer, but also the director, was that we hadn't really seen, our daughters are about the same age. At the time when we first started talking about Paper Planes, they were all under 10 and they hadn't seen any Australian films. And so the idea that they would go through their childhoods without seeing any Australian sort of images on screen was quite odd to us, because when we were young, we were seeing Australian films all the time. So it was really about trying to put an Australian story on screen, put Aussie accents up there, put landscape up there. What's happened, fortunately, is that with the success of Oddball, which came after it, I think there's now going to be more Australian films. So, and they're not really kids' films, I guess, they're more family films. And it's the idea that the whole family can go along together and share the experience. And that's certainly what we were aiming for with Paper Planes, and I think that's what's also happened with Oddball.
And so what's kind of some of the feedback that you've gotten from parents or from children after seeing the film?
Well, I think there's a level of excitement with Australian kids to see themselves on screen, because most of them have really only seen American films or British films, but primarily American animated films with American accents. So to hear an Australian accent, it's quite a different thing. To see that landscape, and specifically with Paper Planes we shot in West Australia, it's a very specifically kind of Australian landscape. I think that's been very exciting to a lot of kids, and they're kind of wondering why there aren't more. I think there was a reticence to make the film originally. Not a lot of people wanted to put money into it. But once it was up and running and it was successful, I think now the market realises that there is actually a thirst for that kind of movie here. So I think hopefully over the next couple of years we're going to see, at least one, maybe two a year, which would be wonderful. I mean, it's hard to make a film, every time you make a film it's a bit of a miracle, but if we could be making one or two a year, that'd be great, because if we want Australian people to be watching Australian films when they're older, we really need to get them watching them when they're younger. We kind of got to get them into the habit of it. And if they have a great experience like Paper Planes, then maybe it makes it easier to make the Oddball, or to release the Oddball and actually have people turn up and really go and see it in vast numbers. And that's what we want. We want to compete with the American movies, really. We don't want to do, $1 million. We want to do 10 million at the box office and really make it something that has an impact culturally.
And on that note, are you working on another film?
Yes, I am. I'm working on another one for kids at the moment, and then hopefully, maybe something that we'd be making next year, and then, releasing the year after. So, I mean, it's a long process. It takes 2-3 years for every one. So you've got to you start the, ball rolling now, and hopefully 2017, 2018, you'll see a whole lot more.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much.